Low post, mid post, high post, post game sports. What it do? What it do? What it do? What it do? By now, we all know that Notre Dame was royally screwed when it comes to making the college football playoffs. Now, there's been a lot of opinions shot out there about why they didn't or why they should have. But the Fighting Irish finished 10-2, won 10 games in a row. First, let me start off with this. Notre Dame has no one to blame but themselves when it comes to missing the college football playoffs. We played two really good teams in the beginning of the season in Miami and Texas A&M. All you had to do was win one of those games and you're in the playoffs, no doubt. No diggity, no doubt. Notre Dame is in. But that didn't happen. They went 0-2, very close games. They lost those games by a combined 4 points. And now they're sitting at home. Cool. But the biggest disappointment, in my opinion, is that we are not going to see Jeremiah Love, CJ Carr, Marcus Freeman, and those guys anymore. The last game of the season was Stanford. And that's really messed up because, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, I really believe Notre Dame had a chance to win the national championship had they made the playoffs. It was just how they got better throughout the season. They figured out their defense with Chris Ash. The defense was playing unbelievable. You got one shutdown corner and another really good corner, and Leonard Moore and Christian Gray. And then with Devontae Smith getting healthy, you would have had the free safety healthy from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Really changed that defense once he got inserted into the starting lineup. I feel like Notre Dame had a really good chance. And then they would have had their best defensive tackle healthy, Gabriel Rubio, excuse me. They would have had him healthy for the playoffs too. Then you add the fact that they probably would have had their two best offensive linemen healthy in the playoffs. That would have been trouble for anybody. But if y'all noticed, there was a smear campaign to keep Notre Dame out of the playoffs for the last month or so. Spearheaded by the ACC. Disgusting. Notre Dame is a business partner with you. If they should have been going at anybody, it should have been Alabama. I felt like I don't have a problem with Miami making the playoffs. I think they're deserving. My problem is with Alabama. Alabama lost 3 games. Okay, they lost to Florida State. They did make the SEC championship game, but they get blown out by a Georgia team that they have previously beaten. So I felt like if anybody was going to get left out, it was Alabama. And I don't want to hear they made their conference championship game. That they did, but guess what? Ohio State lost their conference championship game, they moved down. BYU lost their conference championship game and moved down. Alabama magically lost their conference championship game and didn't move at all. The fix was in. ESPN and the SEC conference being in the bed together. We knew Notre Dame was going to get screwed if you just follow things and read between the lines. You knew Notre Dame was going to get screwed. The fact that ESPN was playing the Miami and Notre Dame game from week 1 all Saturday, I believe. I should have known by then Notre Dame wasn't getting there. But this is a real sad day for the Fighting Irish. Real sad weekend because I felt like if you had Notre Dame ahead of Miami, why swap them out during the last ranking of the season when neither team played? Why keep Alabama at 9 when they lost? Doesn't make any sense to me. But I think Notre Dame will use this as fuel to the fire. Uh, I think that the administration, the athletes, the players before them, the alumni, they're pissed. And next year is going to be the vengeance tour. But I say this again. I really felt like Notre Dame had a really good chance to win it all this season. Will they be favored? Would they have been favored? No. But just from what I saw, I felt like Notre Dame could play with anybody and they could beat anybody in the field. This was a drive-by shooting by the SEC and ESPN. They trashed Notre Dame all month, and they got what they wanted, which was Notre Dame out and the SEC getting so many teams in. It's cool. It's fine. Because guess what? Now Notre Dame only has to finish in the top 12 for the next 6 seasons, and they're guaranteed a spot. So the haters really going to get mad, big mad about that. All this join the conference nonsense. It's not easier to be in a conference. It's harder to be independent. And the haters are upset that Notre Dame has mastered the art of being an independent football team when they were told no so many times by the Big Ten when they tried to join the conference. So now they mad. Notre Dame has mastered the art of independence and they will continue to be an independent. So be mad at that. It's Notre Dame against the world. Notre Dame should be competing for a college football championship. They got one of the best coaches in college football, and they got a hell of a roster, and that roster is going to be better next year. Across the board, have y'all seen their recruiting classes? Just gems everywhere. The last few classes been nice, but this last one, is unbelievable. So I expect big things from the Fighting Irish. Starting next season, I know they're gonna have that chip on their shoulder, and I know they're gonna dominate, and they're gonna lead, no doubt. So I want to know what y'all thought. Let me know what y'all thought in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Thank y'all for subscribing. The channel is really growing, and I appreciate the support. And I'm out. Peace.